So our job for this particular segment was to pick 11 of the best Premier League players from this past season. You can play someone out of position, but it mustn't be something ridiculous. Like, we don't want to see Trent play central mid like you Liverpool fans think he can. That's just a bit too far. But otherwise, as long as the formation makes sense, back your choices. Yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Anyway, so let's get right into it. So my keeper of the season should come as no surprise to most of you, Dean Henderson. I think he's undoubtedly been the best keeper in the Premier this season. I think he's got 10 clean sheets. Sorry, Nick Pope has 11 clean sheets. Dean Henderson has 10 clean sheets. He's got Sheffield lying in 6th. And for a new promoted side to obviously not only be in 6th, but to have 10 clean sheets and have one of the best defensive records in the league is just something unheard of. And I think that warrants him a place in my team of the year. And I honestly think that next season, he has a really good chance of being Man United's number one, but we'll see. So I've decided to line up with a 4-3-3 with the holding midfielder. I thought about going with a back three with wing backs, but I just thought there was too much firepower in the Prem this season, and I just couldn't leave those big names out. So I've decided to obviously go with this 4-3-3 formation. And at right back, again, should come as no surprise to you, I've got Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. This was a no-brainer. I mean, for a defender to have 12 assists, be second in the league in assists, only behind Kevin De Bruyne, be part of probably the best defense in England right now. They went on that run on 8 clean sheets in a row, which is ridiculous. And I think overall, Trent's been a part of 10 clean sheets, all of them? Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that was a no-brainer for me. And then at right centre-back, I've got Virgil van Dijk. He's actually been a part of 13 clean sheets this season, if I'm not mistaken. He gave Adrian a bit of a career at the start of the season. Liverpool fans were telling us that Adrian's not so bad, but then, yeah. This one was also not so tough, really. Virgil van Dijk's probably the best centre-back in the world right now. Pivotal last season, pivotal this season. Yeah. Now this one was really, really hard. Picking someone to partner with Virgil van Dijk. I know a lot of people will probably say Joe Gomez, for example, or not that many good centre-backs this season, to be fair. Maybe Harry Maguire. But for me, it was between Soyuncu from Leicester and Tarkowski from Burnley, and I've decided to go for the English centre-back. It took a while for me to get to that conclusion, but had to be nitty-gritty with it, and Burnley do have the most clean sheets in the division, and regardless of the type of football they play or where they lie in the log, that's a really good stat, sorry. And he leads the league in blocks, interceptions, and yeah, like I said, clean sheets. And if the Euros weren't cancelled this summer, or summer for them obviously, I honestly think he would have been worthy of a call-up. And then to complete my back four, at left back, I've got Andrew Robertson. Again, I don't think there'll be too many complaints with this one. I mean, the man's got 7 assists, or 1 goal if you want to talk about that. And he's been part of 9 clean sheets, and not one left back in the league comes close to figures like that. So for me, that was a simple one. Now this is where it starts to get a bit controversial. Hopefully not as controversial as Shaw, but normally my controversial makes more sense than Shaw's. So in my defensive midfield role, I've got Wilfred Ndidi from Leicester City. Now Ndidi's probably been one of my favorite defensive mids in the world over the last few years. I've rated him very, very, very highly. Him and Idrissa Gueye, actually. Normally, at this time of the season, DD is topping the charts in tackles and interceptions and all that. But not so much this season with the rise of Pereira and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But, I mean, he still leads the league in tackles, or leads midfielders in the league in tackles with 91, I think, around there. He has an 84% pass completion rate, so it's not like he's one-dimensional. He still does a job going forward, and he's pivotal I think, in Leicester's attack as well, along Tielemans there in midfield. And he's first in interceptions among midfielders in the Premier League. So with players like Fernandinho in the league, Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, Kante, I think that's a pretty impressive stat to have, and I think that warrants a place in the Premier League Team of the Year. The next of my midfield three would be this one. Would be Rodri from Manchester City. I think Rodri, apart from Kevin De Bruyne, obviously, I think Rodri's been City's best player this season. Every time I've watched him play, I've watched him just command the game. Always wants the ball, always making the right passes. He's good in attack as well. I mean, for someone who has the most passes in the Premier League, and he completes them at 93 or 94% around there somewhere, I think that's a pretty ridiculous stat, considering he plays for the team that has the most passes in the Premier as well. To complete 93% of them, that's just a ridiculous statistic for me. And I just think that warrants a place in Team of the Year, because in a team, not everyone can score and assist. That's just, it's not viable. So I think there is a place in Teams of the Year and football, obviously, in general, to have people who can just dictate games for you. And I think Rodri's done that magnificently this season. I think he's given Pep's City side a proper focal point, and I think he'll be a really good replacement for Fernandinho going into the future. I think that was a really, really good signing. Probably signing of the season, to be honest. And then the other midfielder, pretty obvious, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, the man has 24 goal contributions this season and 25 starts. And spoiler alert, but he won the Back Five Premier League Player of the Year award. So I had to put him in. That's also pretty much a no-brainer. Yeah, I don't think I'll see too many complaints there. Now my front three. Yeah, this one is really, really hard, because even in the award ceremony there was a Forward of the Year award, and honestly, I had about 5, maybe 6 candidates for that award, and on the night when we filmed, I probably trimmed it down to 2 or 3. I think I said 3. I had 3 that day, and even then I was still struggling to pick one, and now I've managed to pick 3. And to be honest, I'll be controversial either way. I don't think I can make everyone happy with this one, but yeah, just know I didn't take the decision lightly, but I'm quite happy with the choices I've made, so I'll get right into it. So at right wing, slightly out of position, but I do think he could play this role. Maybe he could drift centrally, like most forwards do these days. You know, on paper they start out wide, but they drift centrally. Yeah, on the right side of my front three, I've got Jamie Vardy. Like I said in the part 1 of the award ceremony, yeah, he's been on a bit of a drought this year, but he's still a Premier League top scorer with 19 goals. And for him to still be at the top despite the goal drought just kind of emphasizes how crazy his season's actually been. So I think, leave the fact that he actually won our Forward of the Year award. Yeah, he just deserves to be in the team no matter what, and I think his numbers speak for themselves, to be honest. And then on the left side of my front three would be Sadio Mane. Now, I contemplated playing Vardy on the left side of my front three and playing Salah, and I don't think that would have been a wrong decision or an awful decision. Honestly, I really, really wanted to put Salah into my team, because I do think that he does get a bit of unnecessary stick. I do think he's kind of underrated. I know that sounds weird, but I generally believe that he's underrated. But yeah, I decided to go with Sadio Mane for this solely because there was a stat I read the other day. Not really the other day, but it was like a month or 2 ago when Prem was still on. It said Salah only had 2 goals in 14 away games. Now for me, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I mean, it's one. I know Liverpool's home run is a historic one, but you got to score goals away from home. I mean, you can't just be bailed out all the time, stuff like that. Big big players find a way to score goals away from home and, you know, have famous celebrations in the away end. But yeah, Salah did have the most goal contributions, or has the most goal contributions this season for Liverpool, but Mane was close behind. He was only one behind, and he's been magnificent this season, and many people are dubbing him for the Ballon d'Or. Maybe I wouldn't go that far, but I do think he's had a magnificent season, and he definitely warrants a spot in the team of the year. And up front, I've decided this was a tough one. Even on the night we had the award ceremony, this was a tough decision for me to make, but I've decided to go with Mr. Sergio Aguero. The man's stats this season have actually been understated. It's crazy to me that people haven't spoken more about them. Like, on the surface, you see 16 goals in 22 games, which is really good. I mean, it is third on the charts, but that doesn't even tell the whole story. That's what's so crazy about it. The man is averaging 88 goals a game, and I think Don spoke about it in part one of the award ceremony, where he said second place in terms of minutes per goal is Mason Greenwood with like 130, just to put that into perspective. So I think, although Aubameyang's been great this season, and I really, really, really wanted to put him into this team, I just think I couldn't ignore what Sergio Aguero has done in the Prem this season, and I think that warrants a place in the team of the year. But special mention goes out to Aubameyang. I'm sure my fellow back five members, one of them will put Aubameyang in there. My manager of the year will probably be, it's between Chris Wilder and Jurgen Klopp, but I think I lean more towards Jurgen Klopp simply because of that historic run. Like, it's stuff you see in movies. Like, the man went at some point this season, Liverpool were 24-1-0. That is ridiculous. That is a FIFA stat. Okay, that's the type of run you go on FIFA when you're playing on professional or something. So yeah, I couldn't ignore that. Of course, daps to Chris Wilder and Sheffield United. I mean, being sixth after just being promoted, I myself gave them no chance of staying up when they got promoted. I mean, they had a good season last season, but I just thought the players they had, the squad they had, they just have no chance of staying up. And they proved me and many others wrong, and in sixth place. But unfortunately, Jurgen Klopp has just done something we've never seen before and probably will never see again. So yeah, Jurgen Klopp is my team of the season's manager. And with that marks the end of the Thobs edition of the Team of the Year segment, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And yeah, thank you. Stay safe out there.